So I got the motorcycle frame in the back of the truck, and I'm headed to the powder coater to get an estimate on stripping it and powder coating it. And they are just down the street right up here. You can see them almost. We're on Metropolitan Parkway between Mound and Van Dyke. And the name of this street is Metro that they're on. You see that's the overpass, so you don't want to go over that if you're going here. It's right where that white pickup is. This is where I have all my powder coating done. Their prices are pretty reasonable and they do good work here. I like them. So let me go in there and talk to the guy and we'll get a estimate here. There's a project somebody's doing here for, they completely strip these cars and blast them and get them ready for refinish. There's another car. I don't think that's a, I don't think those are, one of them looks like it was blasted and just left there, but yeah, I don't think those are going anywhere soon. And a couple big gen sets. So this is the place where I get all my stripping done. Neat place. I always have a lot of neat projects going on in there. So he gave me an estimate, $200, which I think is pretty reasonable, but I got to get the triple tree off and the bushings out of the lower rear control arm and get the VIN tag off. He said I could tape sheet metal over the VIN tag and they could, with like Gorilla Tape, and they could sandblast it, and then they could mask off the tag for powder coating, but he couldn't guarantee it wouldn't get damaged, so I don't want it damaged. And the pits on the frame, if there's pits, there's nothing I can put in them to fill them so they would show through with powder coating. So, you know, I may, for $50 less, I can paint it, just take a lot more time. And here we are stuck in some lovely congestion. So I buffed all the screws up. They came up really nice. I'm going to put the left side cover on here shortly, and I'll show it when it's done. These screws came up really super nice. I'm going to put some anti-seize and then torque them to, I think, 80 inch-pounds. And I buffed them with this. I think I showed this in the past video at the Rouge. And this is a laundry tub motor that had a bad contact on the start winding that I had given to me, and I just cleaned the contact in there. But it's a General Electric AC motor, quarter horse. It says FR48, model number is 5K H33GG, and then a space and a 102EX, RPM 1725, phase 1, thermally protected. And then it's just got a number with nothing there. It says 219500, and then it says SF 1.0, temperature rise 50C, I think is what that says. I thought it was 500, but it's 50C. Volts 115, code S. Amps 5.6, cycles 60, time rating continuous, serial number WVA. It's actually a pretty good motor. It's missing a screw, but I don't care. It does what I've had it. I've used this for like 20 years. I used to have a buffer motor similar to that you put these buffing wheels, but they get hot and I'd burn them out all the time. Sometimes this runs 2-3 hours at a time. Buffing stuff, I just probably spent 40 minutes buffing just these screws up like chrome. But I don't know with the furnace running if you can hear the motor start or not, that little thing that I had to clean. You can hear it when it shuts off. That click is the start, has a start winding, and that draws more current to start, and then when it centrifugal mechanism in there that switches it so it turns it to the run windings. So anyway, any of my viewers that like enjoy electric motors, I put this in there for you guys. And as you saw, I went to the powder coater and he said $200 to powder coat all this sandblast it and powder coat it. But the problem is I think there might be some pits that will show in here. So I'm going to grind this out first. And if it looks like there's pits, you can't powder coat over any fillers or anything. So I might clean this up first and see where we go from there, if I have it powder coated or if I paint it. And I got to get the steering thing out if I have it powder coated. If I paint it, I can leave it alone. The preload and everything feels fine. I don't have the special tool to remove this or to retorque it to get the proper preload on the bearings. I could probably knock these little rivets out from the inside and take this tag off if need be, if I have it powder coated so it doesn't get damaged. But I think I'm just going to paint the frame and these components. Did pick up a quart of paint so I can paint the frame if I decide to go that route. Installed the new seal, and I'll put a little oil, smear oil on here so it's not going on the shaft dry. Looks nice. You can see how the gasket shows in between there like it originally did, and the screw heads are shiny like they originally were. I had to replace one screw, the Phillips bit. I torqued them to 72 inch-pounds, and this bit would slip when I tried to torque it, the final torque. I went around and torqued everything to 35, and then I went around and torqued everything to 72, but at 72 this was slipping. The screw head just wasn't biting it good, so I did take one of my extra screws, that one right there, and they're all torqued to 72 inch-pounds. Looks good. So I'm going to start on the other side now. I was working on putting this side cover on. You can see where this little plastic, that's that little plastic bit that was broken, and that holds, this thing will just pop out. It's only in there with an O-ring, and that kind of, and you can see, the wire goes through it, and it's designed so you can slide it down the wire, so you can put the wire through and then put this down there, and then that cover holds that so this doesn't come out and leak oil. So that might have been why it was leaking oil out of there, was because that plastic piece was all broken. And I got this, the stator all together, the clutch doohickey in. Now I was getting ready to put this little ball down in there, and I noticed that, and I don't know if this will show up on the camera or not, but one end of it's worn flat and the other end's really worn, and this looks worn, looks concaved. So I went in and ordered, this is the shaft that this goes on there, and then this pushes to disengage the clutch, and I don't think that's enough to really cause an issue, the wear that's on these, but seeing the clutch slipped, and these parts are really very inexpensive. This ball was with shipping $3, and I got that shaft with shipping for $14. So I just ordered a new ball and shaft, and everything will be in good shape once that's in. I won't have to worry about any issues with the clutch. So I'm just going to clean the parting surface and then just set the side cover on. I did put the new seal in, but I'll oil that so it doesn't get damaged running in and off, because I'll be taking it off again. So I'm just going to put it on with 2 screws just to keep dirt out of the crankcase, so I can start grinding on the frame and stuff. I can set this in the house, in the basement, I think, but I want the cover on it just so I don't take a chance on getting anything in the engine. Side cover looks nice, all the bits and pieces on it. And I got put that stuff back on. I'm going to wait and put the cover on because I already put the new seal in until this and the little ball comes. That'll be a few days from now probably. One last part that I replaced on the clutch was that return spring right there. That was totally missing, and I bought them quite a while ago, a package of, there's 3 in the package, I think they come 10 in a package, but the part number is 22815-0 362-000. And I bought these probably 20 or 30 years ago because that was missing, and it's now replaced. So now I'm just waiting on the push rod and the ball and the centrifugal advance. Put the battery maintainer on the Bel Air today. It's the first week of December, I believe. So again, if you enjoy my channel, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.